Hey guys, happy Thursday. A little fun news as we start off our news cycle today. There's a few serious stories to get to, but I just want to flag this one for you because I thought it's really interesting and we don't cover a lot of celebrity news. And I have mixed feelings about that because I love celebrity news. Just like I like foreign policy news, I like a little celebrity news now and then. But I'm careful about how I include it in our site because I only want really to put in front of you the things that really matter. But I thought this was sort of an interesting coffee, like water cooler sort of story. I was reading about it last night. So Vogue did this profile of Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian, a little over a year ago, was involved in the release of Anne Marie Johnson. Anne Marie Johnson was a woman who was sentenced to life in prison for a nonviolent drug offense, and her release, her I don't know if it was an official pardon by President Trump, but it led to her release. Was part of the momentum that led towards this major criminal justice reform that was bipartisan in nature, that changed some of these nonviolent drug offense consequences in the country, was one of a big victory for both Democrats and Republicans. And so one of the things that this article talks about is that Kim Kardashian, since that point, has been an apprenticeship at a California law firm. And in California, if you are in an apprenticeship at a California law firm for at least 4 years, you are eligible to take the bar. It's not everywhere, but in California, you can do it. And she says that's one of her goals. And I thought that was unexpected and kind of cool. So I wanted to flag that story for you, even though, again, it kind of fits into the category of celebrities. I don't know how you feel about the Kardashians or covering them. I'm not going to cover every development, but I thought that was sort of an interesting one, especially because the consequence of some of her actions and the publicity that she brought to criminal justice reform might have been an important variable in that criminal justice reform being passed and getting the national attention that it did. You never know. You never know who's going to come out of the woodwork and make major change. So a couple things I think you should know today. There's some big news. You're seeing a lot of alerts about, probably pop up on your phone, about Julian Assange. He's the founder of WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is that organization that has been able to pull top secret classified information from different governments, as well as personal confidential information like emails from Hillary Clinton, and publish them on the World Wide Web for everybody to see. And so he's been in the Ecuadorian embassy in England, avoiding arrest, because when you step into an embassy, whether it's in the United States or other places, you're technically on that country's territory. You're not on, like, for example, American territory or English territory. And that's why he was able to avoid arrest for so long. I don't know if the backstory is that important about why that changed, but basically Ecuador revoked his asylum and allowed London police to arrest him after 7 years. The big picture for this story, and why I think it's important besides just the drama over him, is WikiLeaks has really brought forward a major question for all of us about how important top secret information is and classified information. What does the public really have the right to know? And when is it appropriate for classified information to be released, and when is it not? When are you not getting the full story? When is it damaging? And these are huge questions, especially because of the age in which we live in, the internet access that we have, the ability for hackers to wreak havoc, and a question really of legality. What does the public have the right to know and what does the public not? His arrest will not affect the functioning of WikiLeaks, just like his stay at the Ecuador embassy hasn't interrupted it. It's not likely. That's not my feeling, but there is a question about whether or not he'll be extradited to the United States. So we'll see if that's actually the case. I'm hearing some tears. I think they're okay. That doesn't sound okay. Okay, I'm going to go check on them. Okay. Two other quick stories I think you should know today. One, okay, you guys have seen this big story about the black hole, right? That there's a new picture of a black hole. I seriously lost some major brain cells yesterday trying to figure this story out. When you have that moment where you're like, I can be anything except a physicist. And that's exactly how I felt yesterday. I'm reading all these black hole stories. I'm like, oh my, So here's the thing. We were able to get a picture of a black hole. What this basically shows is that black holes look like what we thought they look like, and they're behaving in the way that we thought that they would likely behave. This is important because most of our science and our physics is based on Einstein's theory of relativity. And so what this is doing is not necessarily proving the theory overall, but suggesting that we're on the right track. So basically, the picture of the black hole didn't disrupt science. It more or less confirmed that we're in the right direction when we're thinking about the way that gravity behaves in the universe. I hope that's helpful. Check out the black hole picture. Final story you should know. And this is more of a water cooler. We have a lot of really interesting quotes for quick quote sections, a variety of different stories, so check those out today. But here's one that you should also know that's a little bit water cooler. There was there was a ticket written in Georgia. A Georgia mom pulls over at a gas station. She's trying to get her son to go to the bathroom. He has an emergency. He's potty training. He's 3 years old. She's pregnant. She's not able to lift him and run him to the bathroom. They don't make it to the bathroom. So he ends up going to the bathroom in the parking lot, as little boys sometimes do. A police officer sees them and writes her a ticket and says what she did not prevent her child from going to the bathroom in the parking lot, and that was disorderly conduct. What do you think about that? So she has to go to court. She wasn't arrested, but she has to go to court to face this violation. And I mean, she could face a fine. She could, and I guess conceivably she could face time behind bars, but I think that would be very unlikely. The police department has been very quiet about this story. It's really based on the mother's perspective, so I think that's important to note. Not that we are suspicious of mothers, but it's a limited reported story in that way, and so I think that's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting Why? So we took a look, one of my colleagues did a great job. We took a look at the legal basis for this. When are you liable for your child's behavior? And what's interesting about it is sometimes you're liable for their behavior just outright. Sometimes you're liable for their behavior because you did not prevent them from doing something. In this case, that's what they're saying. In general, these laws vary state to state. And most of the time your liability starts after your child is like 8 years old. You get like a grace period for their behavior for obvious reasons. So we'll see which way this case goes, but I thought it was interesting enough to flag and a really important question for parenthood. When are you liable for your child's actions, and when are you liable because you did not prevent your child from doing something that was potentially illegal? Check that card out today. All right, guys, final thing, Fisher-Price. There's this big drama. I just want to mention this too on the parenthood because it caught my attention. There's something called a Rock and Play. It's a very popular product. Fisher-Price has had it for years. Now there's a big question about whether or not it should be recalled, and the American Academy of Pediatrics says that it should. So it's just something that you might find in a lot of your homes or in friends' homes, or something that you might gift at some point. And so I think it's worth checking out. There's a photo of it or the appropriate links on our website so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's something I've used for both kids and have loved using. And now there's some questions about its safety. Okay, have a great day, guys. Great Thursday as you get started to go into the weekend. Hope it's good wherever you are. I know some of you are facing really tough weather. We're seeing more of those blizzardy conditions in the Midwest and some really just tough conditions for a lot of us. So stay safe out there, and let us know if you want us to check out any other stories. Just info@smarternews.com. Okay, I really gotta go. Or DM us on social media. Have a great day, guys.